All right, if you love Steve Serby's weekly Q&As in the New York Post, then this week you got 2 Q&As for the price of 1. New York Post sports columnist Steve Serby caught up with the offensive coordinator of the New York Giants, that would be Mike Kafka, and Big Blue's defensive coordinator, Wink Martindale. It's an All Giants Sundays with Serby, as Steve joins me now. Busy week for you, Steve. You had 2 people to interview for your Q&A. How were you able to juggle both? You were able to handle this pretty well?
Well, I give credit to the New York Giants Public Relations Department, Dion Dargan, and Coach Brian Dable, who made this necessary.
I'm glad they were able to help you out. Shout out to the Giants PR department for making it all come about. Steve, let's start with the OC, Mike Kafka. The Giants offense last year, it was not exciting, but it was serviceable. Does Kafka see this offense with Daniel Jones taking a leap in 2023?
Well, Mike Kafka is naturally reserved, as most offensive coordinators / coaches are, but he believes, everybody around the Giants believes, that Daniel Jones, who is now the $40 million man, must dramatically improve on 15 touchdown passes. I asked Kafka specifically, can you give me a number, 25, 30? Of course he wouldn't do that, but I would think 25 touchdown passes is the low bar for Daniel Jones. Now that he's got more speed, he's got Darren Waller, he's got Paris Campbell, he's got Jalen Hyatt, the 3rd-round draft choice, he's got Darius Slayton returning, and I asked Kafka to give me a one word about Waller. He said explosive. One word about Paris Campbell. He said explosive. One word about Jalen Hyatt. He said explosive. And adding to Isaiah Hodgins, the emerging free agent from a year ago, and adding Saquon Barkley to the mix. And like I said, the second year in the same system should work wonders for Daniel Jones. So I think you're going to see the New York Giants score more points and be more aggressive offensively.
I'm going to guess to say that Mike Kafka thinks that the Giants' offense will be explosive. We'll see. We'll see if that is the case. All right, we'll see.
You picked up on that.
I picked up. It seemed like there was a trend there. Now, on the defensive side, Wink Martindale, he seemed to have the defense headed in the right direction in 2022, Steve. As he continues to shape his defense and the defensive identity of the G-men, what kind of players does he enjoy coaching on the defensive side of the ball?
Well, as all coaches do, Wink loves passionate players, but he also wants players with what he calls old school violence. And he's got some on defense. So obviously, Sexy Dexy Lawrence, who is now Dollar Dexy Lawrence, signing that $22.5 AAV contract extension. The Giants have bolstered their run defense, and that's what concerned and bothered Wink most last year, was the Giants' run defense. And they signed Nacho, Mr. Nunez Roches, and Ashawn Robinson, and of course Dexter. Nobody runs on Dexter Lawrence, who is alongside his sidekick Leonard Williams. And they've got the linebacker Okereke, and Wink helped me with the pronunciation. He told me just say it as O-Carrot Cake. So Bobby Okereke is the run and chase linebacker that adds speed to the defense. And of course, Wink loves Kayvon Thibodeau on the field and off the field. And Kayvon, in my opinion, will have a double-digit sack second season. And Deonte Banks, that's the guy that Wink wanted, loves his skill set. He'll be the corner opposite of Dory Jackson. And Wink, of course, will blitz the hell out of everybody he sees. So if the Giants can stop the run, and Wink likens it to a heavyweight fight in the trenches. You take body blows, but you got to give them back. And this year, Wink plans on giving them back.
All right, look out for the Giants defense in 2023. I got to ask you this before we go. Both coaches have head coaching aspirations. So how does each coach feel about the other potentially being a head coach in the NFL one day?
Well, they think that neither one of them is deserving. No, just kidding. Well, Wink interviewed with the Indianapolis Colts and might have gotten the job had Jim Irsay, the owner, not told him that we need an offensive coach because we're going to draft a quarterback, and that quarterback became Anthony Richardson. But Wink is not discouraged at 60 years old. He listens to Bill Parcells, who told him, don't force it. It's going to happen. Wink deserves to be a head coach. There's no question about it. And Kafka seconds that emotion because he loves how authentic Wink is. The players do as well. He loves what a straight shooter Wink is, and he loves his aggressive mindset. So Wink should have been a head coach by now. Brian Dable waited almost a lifetime for his opportunity. Hopefully, for Wink's sake, because he's very deserving, he'll get a crack as well. And the problem for Wink, by the way, is the fact that owners are not the way they used to be. They used to be sportsmen, and age and experience now takes a back seat, and that has hurt Wink more than anything. But if the Giant defense is on fire the way I believe it has a chance to be this year, Wink is going to get another opportunity, and no one will be happier for Wink than Mike Kafka and the New York Football Giants.
All right, we'll see if he gets that opportunity moving forward. Great Q&A by Steve Serby at NewYorkPost.com this week.
Thank you. You may not recognize me next week, Dex. I'm going to get a haircut. I see that you got one.
I did.
What'd you pay for that? I'm just curious.
You asked me this before we started. Let's just say my haircuts cost a little north of $80. We'll say that.
Oh, really? See, north of 80 plus? Does that include tip?
That includes tip. I'm going to get into the same kind of conversation that people were talking about with Jalen Rose when he told me he pays a little bit more than I do for his haircut. It's over $100. So he's going in those three figures, and people were very shocked by that. Quality haircuts, not saying that people who are not paying that much aren't getting quality haircuts, but you got to pay for a little quality. That's all I'm saying. And your time.
Yeah, I hear you're a big tipper, though. Is that true?
I'm a good tipper. I will say that. I'm a good tipper.
Okay.
I believe in
okay, well, the hair look, whoever did your hair, it looks great. I may have to go to your guy. I may have to go to your guy or your gal.
I can make that recommendation happen. That can happen. They'd love to have you.
Yeah, but my guy only charges $25, and I guess don't judge him by this. It's still a little disheveled today. Steve's. Can I give him a plug? Steve's Magic Haircut in Bayside.
Shout out to Steve's. So Steve cuts Steve. Okay, nice. Shout out to Steve, and shout out to Adrian.
Yeah, he does a great job.
There you go. Shout out to Steve, and shout out to Adrian Fanous Grooming.
And he's a big fan of yours, by the way.
Oh well, I'm glad he's a fan of mine.
But then again, who isn't?
No, I'm sure there's somebody who isn't, but I don't really think of those people at all whatsoever. But you know what people think about? Your Q&As every week. Check out Steve's Q&A on nypost.com. Wink, Martindale, Mike Kafka were the people that Steve talked to this week. It's a really good one. Check it out. Steve, look forward to seeing you next week with the new haircut. Can't wait to see you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hope you like it. Thank you, Dex.
I'm sure I will. Thank you, Steve.